there's a canvas shortage in needlepoint. You probably already know about it. People are waiting weeks or even months for this canvas to come back in stock. It's called mono canvas, but there is another option and it is in stock everywhere and easily available. And most people won't touch it. It's called Interlock canvas. And the general consensus is that it's stiff and it's cheap and it's just not the real thing. But here's the funny thing. It's made in the same factory. So I'm doing a little experiment and I'm gonna take the exact same design and stitch it twice. Once on mono and once on interlock. So I wanna compare them to find out, is interlock really as bad as everyone says it is? Or are we just all like waiting around for effectively nothing, something that's already available everywhere? So this is what I'm doing. I've just realized that I'm actually matching. I didn't intentionally do this. There you go. The brainwaves were in tune with the project of the day, evidently. Here are my two designs. So it's the same design. I've stitched it twice. So we have it on interlock and on mono. So have a close-up look at this just to familiarize yourself. You might not be able to even tell the difference. This one, the mono one, is woven. And the interlock one, they're twisted. The mono mesh moves a lot more because it's woven. That means that it can warp a lot easier, but you can fix it a lot easier. The interlock one doesn't warp as easily, but if it does, it's harder to fix. It's still possible to fix, but that's really the difference. One moves around a lot and one doesn't as much. I personally finished 4 Christmas stockings last year on interlock. I didn't even know like what I was stitching or whatever. I just wanted to stitch, you know, it was before I really ended up in this like rabbit hole of all this stuff. And I did 4 stockings on interlock. They didn't warp at all and I didn't even block them or anything before finishing them. They look great. So that gives you an idea of what it's like. The other thing that I like the most about interlock, which I've only realized as I've gone on my self-finishing journey, is interlock doesn't really fray. And so especially for like weird shaped ornaments, I prefer interlock because the mono starts to like fall apart as you cut it really close and do interesting shapes. And then the other thing that people don't realize about interlock is while it is stiff, I would say mono is stiff too, interlock is thinner. Especially when you do small ornaments, which I've been doing a lot of lately. The bulk of this seems to bulk out quicker and I just find myself enjoying making small things with this interlock a lot more. Small and ambitious shapes. I'm enjoying that more. But does it really matter? Is that just me and my preference? I get a lot of DMs from people saying they secretly like interlock more. So I know I'm not alone, but is there actually any difference? Like, does it really matter? Obviously, you like what you like, but is there actually any difference? We're gonna find out in this little experiment. So here's what I've done. So I've already stitched these because that's the boring part, and I've done a binding stitch. I will leave linked below the tutorial that I followed for a binding stitch. It is so satisfying and so enjoyable. Like, it is just lovely and it gives you that nice edge. Totally easy. Don't worry about it if you haven't done it before. I'll leave it linked below and you can do that. So essentially all I've done is followed this chart. I'll leave this linked below. This is from Penny Lynn. So it's the same chart and I've just color swapped it. It's only 3 colors. So you just choose a dark color, a light color and white. I'll leave it linked below. It's only $10 and I think it's really pretty. It's obviously a bit of my vibe. So we're ready to start finishing them. And this is where like the real experiment is gonna come through. And I'm also gonna test some hardware that I got to make it look like really professional, hopefully. Let's see how we go. So this is what they're gonna look like. And I can already feel, this one feels so much thinner. Like, look, it's hard to demonstrate. I wish I'd shown you this before I did the binding stitch, because when I hadn't done the binding stitch, it sort of gives it some stability. This one was way floppier. Even now it's still, you can see a little bit. This is softer. This is stiffer. That's just that has been my experience with interlock. Because it's thinner, it ends up being a softer thing and this ends up being the stiffer thing. Anyway, let's see if it might not even make a difference when it's finished into a key fob. I don't know. So my plan is that I don't even need to do a binding stitch across here. I don't think. We'll see. But the goal is to fold it across like that. And then we're going to put the hardware there. I might just tuck this around a little bit, like 1 or 2 rows like that. And then do the same at this end so that it'll look like that, sort of sandwiched in. And then my goal, it's pretty simple. We're already halfway there, right? Let me just show you. So my goal is to use these that I got on Amazon, and I'll leave these linked below. is just this. This is how easy it is. You just put this on here and then like, I think you use a hammer to like clip it on. It's a bit thick right now because I haven't cut out this, but we'll see in a minute. But that's what the finished product is sort of going to look like. Let's see how we go. So in the interest of keeping this experiment like a proper experiment, I'm going to use the same piece of fabric so that we know that that's not going to make any difference to the finished product. So basically I'm cutting these pieces out just to have like a little bit of like an excess to wrap around. Now my first idea for this was I wanted to try and use ribbon. You might have seen these in a previous video where I unboxed a huge bag of scraps of fabric from a British shoe designer. And I wanted to use these. These were from that haul. However, they're not thick enough for this design. So that's out of the question. We have to use fabric. But the plan is I'm not going to sew this at all because I'm going to use this tape. This is iron-on hem tape, I think it's called. So all I need to do is basically prepare the front piece, as in the needlepoint piece, and the back piece of fabric, and then put the hem tape in between and then iron it. And they should stick together, hopefully. So this is all I'm doing. So I'm just focusing on preparing each of the needlepoint pieces, and all I'm going to do is just fold over the edges just so that there's like 1 or 2 rows going over the end there, and doing the same at each end. And then it naturally folds over along the edge where you've done the binding stitch already, so that's kind of like sorted. I'm just using the clips to clip it in place, and then we can have a little look right now. You can see that they look pretty similar. The Interlock one is definitely slightly thinner, although it's pretty hard to show, like there's not a lot in it. But you can see them side by side. You can't tell the difference really, can you? So I'm just going to iron these just to really like secure the position that they're in, just to like stay in place a little bit more, hopefully without the clips. So just ironing them, and then I'm going to do the same with those backing pieces of fabric, just folding the edges around so it's going to be exactly the same size and be a perfect backing, and the raw edge will be tucked in underneath just like the needlepoint piece. And hopefully this binding tape is going to hold it all in place so we won't need to sew anything. So once they're both ironed, I can use these clips to like put it into place and like get everything positioned. So I'm basically taking this hem tape and cutting it like with a little bit of extra, but I've got everything in position and I don't really want to mess it up. Now I'm just putting this hem tape in place with the clips. It happened to fit really perfectly for this size, but I don't think it'd be a big deal at all if you overlapped it, if it needed to be, because it's very, very thin. And I think it basically kind of melts onto there. That's what it does with the heat. But so it's all like in that one piece. And so all I've got to do is place it onto there. And then I'm just gonna like re-clip it at the ends to make sure it's like in exactly the spot that I want. It's not gonna like move around. And then we can iron it. It's the moment of truth. Let's see if this iron-on stuff works and we're gonna be able to pull this off. Now that worked out like so much better than I thought, like so much easier. Like that was just really that easy. The biggest part was like, you know, ironing it and getting it all in the position, but like then like it's fine. So we have these two. Let's have a little inspection of them. They look the same. I would say this one feels floppier, like if I just wobble them. Overall, I would say this one is thinner because the interlock mesh is thinner. It also feels, they feel about the same, but it's actually really hard to show it. Like there's not much in it. Now I've shown you the hardware. This from Amazon, I'll leave it linked below. The idea is that we're going to just fold these over now. Like we've done all the work really. We're gonna fold these over and then just like clamp that on there like that. That's what we're gonna end up with. And like, that's gonna look really good. But I need to tell you about a little side quest that I found myself on, because this was not the first piece of hardware that I got. The first piece of hardware that I got was something I think looks a little bit more elevated. This. I really like this. It comes in a few different colors. And the reason why I'm not using it is because it doesn't fit. It's not, you have to like put the thing in it. And I was like, okay, fine, we'll use the other one. But I've got this. I'm inspired by this. I like it. So I've gone on a side quest. I've got scrap pieces of mesh. This is mono mesh, FYI. That's just what I had a scrap of. And I have been looking like all these little things to try and find the perfect size to put in here. And so I thought, oh, I can design one that will fit with this. But then I thought, no, I need to take into consideration the binding stitch. So I've done 3 little tests of different things of like literally 1 stitch difference and things. And I've ended up with this one, which with the binding stitch fits in there really perfectly. Look at that. So I've done the measurements, I've got it all ready, and then of course I've ended up designing something. here it is. Like here's what it would look like, right? This is just like obviously not stitched, but the binding stitch is on there. It's actually tucked a little bit behind, but you know, you could do it like that. And it fits really snugly in there. And the way that this one works is you screw it in there. So I've made the template for this. I've like measured it all out and I've got the template. And if you want to get the Stitchly file of this, like the blank, just like template that's the right dimensions, I'll give it to you for free. Just look at the link below to get the blank template, because then you could design your own. You could do literally whatever, and then end up with your own designed thing that works with this nicer hardware. So I'm thinking, well, like I have to make one, don't I? And what kind of design do I want? I was thinking, you know, I was thinking I want some kind of like monogram, but like letters are hard, and I was like, oh, what do I want? And then it came to me, it's like so obvious. So obviously I've seen the Fendi needlepoint bag, and I've always looked at it and thought, if I were to stitch that, I would do, instead of Fs, I would do Ps for Phoebe. So why don't I take that idea? So I've designed that as well, and I'm gonna stitch it, and that's in my store. I'll leave that linked below if you're interested in a letter P. What I'm thinking about doing is slowly making a collection of different letters, but like they're not all gonna work in that same shape. So I'm gonna do like some creative letter designs. It'll be tricky. There are some hard letters in the alphabet, but I think I'm gonna make them all unique. Instead of trying to make them the same, I'll start off with this P one, and I think I can make the F one quite easily off the back of that. But I want to try and make like a collection of letter key fob designs that work specifically with this thing, that feel like they're sisters, not twins. You know, so like they go together, they're gonna have the same vibe, they could be whatever you want. And then also you could obviously like color swap them and get creative. But if you wanna make your own, the Stitchly file with like just the perfect dimensions is down there, and you can get Stitchly and design it yourself. And then make your own, whatever you want, if you've got any ideas about what you want. And then use this pretty thing. So this is the moment of truth really, because I'm a little bit scared about this. I think I'm supposed to use a hammer. I'm gonna just check. But like this is it. All I need to do is fold it over. Here's a little criticism of what I've done. I think I should have focused on the edges a little bit. See how it looks like a bit wonky? There was probably something I could have done to make that better, or maybe it will soften with time. I'm not sure. Look, like this is the first key fob I've ever made. Like I think I'm doing pretty well. But I'd argue that perhaps, given that this is gonna go like that, I'd argue that maybe I should have done the fabric not quite to the end here, because it's like bulking it out, and maybe you only want to see, that nearly got stuck. I shouldn't do that again. Like if you look at this really closely, this top bit, I folded the stitched bit over more than the bottom, and I think that looks better, and I think that'll wear better. It's not the end of the world. We're talking about micro details here. Let's have a look on this one. Yeah, this one's got a bit of the same thing. It's not the end of the world. Let's see how these turn out. So it's the moment of truth. I've got my little setup here, ready to go. And I've got the hardware. Now, I did a little bit of research, and the hammer is not the way to go. So lucky I researched it. They said pliers, and luckily I had pliers. And the recommendation was to put like a bit of something to protect it. So I've got this tea towel. And what I realized when I was doing this, it's got these little like teeth in it, and you want to make sure you don't get stuck on that. So you've got to kind of like slide it in, pressing against the flat side, and then the teeth side kind of like attaches to it once it's in position. But see, it's already kind of like attached, even though I haven't pressed it yet, because those teeth do a little bit of the work. So here we are. Let's have a look with my pliers and just give it a bit of a squeeze. And that was it. That was literally it. It's done. Can you believe it? So let's do the other one now. So here they are. That was so much easier than I thought it was going to be. You didn't even really need to press it down very hard. Like just squeeze it. Like a kid could do it, I think. Maybe I could tighten it up. Should I try? I don't think you're supposed to do it directly, but even if I just did a little bit to tighten it up. Did that damage it? Yeah, it marked it a little bit. So use a tea towel. You can barely see it, but use some kind of fabric to protect it. But that was really easy. Look at that, matching my outfit. Do I look like a crazy person matching my outfit to 2 key rings? I think this is a complete success. And honestly, to compare them, the Interlock one does feel thinner. I don't know if you can really tell. You can see a little bit. You can feel the difference. It does feel like it's just going to like just bend a bit more. Like it's just softer. But there's not much in it. If you prefer mono, that's good. And if you prefer interlock, that's good too. But like finished, you can't even tell really which one's which. So I think that's the answer, but if you want to do the experiment yourself and see what you think, I'll leave everything linked below. So even though I've finished these, my side quest continues because I'm now going to start stitching this P one that I've designed. And here's the good news about that. And I wanted to use this ribbon on the back of this because that would have been even easier than like ironing all the fabric and everything if you could just find some like existing thing that doesn't need to be folded or edged or anything as the backing. And guess what? Turns out this fits just perfectly in there. And so actually, do you know what? That could be a key fob itself, like that. How nice is that? Even if you just had a bit of ribbon. So if you really want to do like a, you know, that's easy, isn't it? But I want to do that as the backing fabric. And so then that's making me think about the colors, right? I designed it in like pink and orange because I love pink and orange, but I'm thinking, let's go with this because we've got this, we're trying to use it. And so actually, is that gonna embrace that sort of Fendi look a little bit more, where try and find some thread that's like exactly the same shade of like beige, tan, whatever color you'd call this, and then do the different colors. And that can get me through like some scraps of thread as well, but like make it all different colors of all the different P's. I think that that's gonna look really, really cool, but like feel unique because it's like P for Phoebe. Anyway, if you wanna stay updated on how this project goes, make sure you follow me on Instagram because I'll share it there when it's done. I can't wait to see it. I'm literally gonna start stitching it now. I think it's gonna turn out really, really well. I think the thinner shape might work better, so like that's the size difference. We'll see. So come along on the journey. Make sure you subscribe on YouTube too because I've got more videos coming here as well. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye.